Hi, this is Peggy from Pretty Paper Cards, and tonight you've joined Pretty Paper Cards Live. I'm doing a live Facebook to show you some projects and talk to you about some things that have been going on with Stampin' Up! Now, first of all, I want to talk to you for just a minute. My last Facebook Live last week, I lost the broadcast. My Wi-Fi went down, and I had to start again. So I've just been praying that doesn't happen this time. If it does, come right back. You might refresh your page, which means that along that top line where it says HTTPS, where the web address is, you just hit that again, enter, and I'll be back on. And so I really hope that that works tonight. I hope there aren't any interruptions with our wireless connection, but I can't be hardwired, so we're just going to go with it and hope this works. Okay, so I'm so glad you're here tonight. There's a lot of stuff I want to talk to you about, and I want to show you and remind you that starting January 3rd, that's the Wednesday after New Year's, we are having starting our brand new catalogs, the spring catalog, which is called the Occasions catalog, and the Sale-a-Bration catalog. And if you don't know what Sale-a-Bration is, with Stampin' Up, it's our very biggest sale of the year, and it runs from January through March. And for every $50 order you place before tax and shipping, you get a free gift. And this catalog, this little catalog, is full of all the free gifts that you can get. And so I'm going to show you one of those free gifts tonight. I'm going to make a card with one of those stamp sets so you can see what it's like. But first of all, I wanted to talk to you about the clearance rack. Stampin' Up! Has a clearance rack, and you can get to it on my website, prettypapercards.com. Under sale, and it'll be there, or you can just click shop now and look for the clearance rack. And they've added lots of new stuff today, and it's up to 70% off. Great prices. So be sure to pop on there and see what's on. It goes quickly, and I want to make sure you get to take advantage of it. And the other thing I want to talk to you about is whenever we have a new catalog, I always do what's called a ribbon share, which means I buy all the different ribbons that are in that catalog, and you get to buy a couple of yards of that ribbon, of all the ribbons, to try them out. And for this catalog, we have 7 brand new ribbons, and I'm going to show them to you. I'm going to turn the camera down so that you can see the pretty ribbons. Okay, so hold on. This will just take a minute, and we'll try to get it just right so that you can see. Whoa, okay. Sometimes I have a little trouble with this. I appreciate your patience. I'm still learning, just like we're all still learning. So this should be able to turn down now. There we go. Okay. So here's a little, this is a little page that I've written that tells you about the ribbon share. Is that right side up for you? Let me just see if I can find it. Nope, it's upside down. Okay. Let's see what I can do here. If you don't mind holding on just a minute, I'm going to try to get that. Okay, let's see. Nope, still upside down. Okay, one more time. Thank you for holding on. There. Is that good? There we go. But it's still backwards, isn't it? Okay, let's see I so appreciate you being patient, because truthfully, this is all brand new to me. There, yay, okay, we've got it. I'm very happy about that. Happy to have you be able to see that. Okay, so I want to show you the pretty ribbons. Here they are. These are the beautiful ribbons. I put them in a pretty blue and white bowl for you to see all the gorgeous ribbons while I show them to you. This is a beautiful new Night of Navy corduroy ribbon that we have. Isn't that gorgeous? I love that. And you'll get, with my ribbon share, you'll get 2 yards of that. Let's see, I'm going to just scooch you back just a little bit more and see if we can't get a better picture. Okay, 2 yards of the Night of Navy. This is a beautiful lemon lime twist striped ribbon, and that's part of the ribbon share. Okay, I have to tell you, this is my favorite. The color is Berry Burst, and it's got a metallic silver edge. Is that not gorgeous? These two are some special sparkle ribbons, one in gold and one in powder pink, and those go with all your spring colors and projects. And then a beautiful white organza ribbon. Isn't that gorgeous? And to top it off, and we're going to use this on the project today, some silver baker's twine. So for $15, you'll get 2 yards of each of those ribbons shipped. The shipping is included. So if you want to take advantage of that, put down in the comment section below, leave me a comment and say ribbon share, and I'll private message you so that you can, I'll get your email and we'll get that taken care of, and I will order the ribbons and start sending out my ribbon shares. Everybody always loves it. I always have a lot of people who want to have the ribbon shares. So if you're here, leave me a comment so I can see that you're here. Let me know, and let me know where you're from. So I'm going to show you some of our projects. Now, from our new Occasions catalog, we have a stamp set that I'm really liking right now, and it's called Perennial Birthday. I mean, I'm really liking every stamp set, right? Because they're brand new. Each one is absolutely brand new to us. But this one is called Perennial Birthday, and I love it because I love all these flowers. You can just do anything. You can really do anything with them. I'm trying to get you more on the screen. And I've made a card. It was on the blog today, and here's the card. Happy birthday. Let's see if you can see that right side up. Okay, and what a snap to make. I just stamped the flowers in the Memento ink and colored them in with the Stampin' Blends, which we're going to use in a little while on our project. And I stamped the sentiment. Very easy to do. And you know, one thing I love to do on my envelopes is I always love to give a little taste of what's inside. So here I stamped that same flower. I didn't color it in, but I stamped it on the envelope. And it just gives the recipient just a little taste of what's going on. And then these are spectacular. The new little sequins that have adhesive right on the back, so that you don't have to play around with the glue. They stick right on your project. And here I've used here the lemon lime twist, but these are some different colors that you get in the same pack. It's a pack of all of these self-adhesive sequins. Isn't that neat? I'm loving them, and I loved using them on this card. So I'm really excited. I was thinking, who's the first person in January with a birthday? Because I'm going to get to send them this card. I'm really excited. I love this card set. Okay, let's get started with our project for today. Now, this project we're going to do tonight is from the it's using a stamp set from the Sale-a-Bration catalog. So the only way that you can get it is by placing a $50 order. And it comes as a free gift. I mean, who doesn't like free gifts, right? Everybody loves free gifts. So the stamp set that you can win free or get free is called Amazing You. And I am really loving it. Look at, of course, I love flowers. Some people I guess don't like flowers, but I love every flower. And I love to stamp with flowers. And I love these fonts and they have, also we can get for free some thinlits that we can cut out with our Big Shot with some of these words, especially amazing. And I'll show you that another time. But this is the stamp set that we're going to work with today. Amazing You. So get get started preparing to place your orders in January so that you can win this as a free gift. Get this as your free gift for a $50 order. Okay, and here is our project for today. It's this adorable little card that says "Celebrate Amazing You." This could be for a birthday. It could also be for a congratulations, somebody that's done something great. And I really had fun using it. Now, the one thing that is really convenient, and I want to show you, to make cards a very convenient thing rather than having a paper cutter and all of that, is to just get our Stampin' Up! Note cards. You get a set of 20 cards already pre-scored to fold in half, and matching envelopes, 20 in a pack. It's a wonderful deal, and I love to use them because they're so quick and easy. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to use one of our note cards. And when you get the note card, like I said, it's scored there. I'm just going to get my glasses on so I can see what we're doing. Look up close, and you just fold your card in, and I just match the edges like that. And I like to use the bone folder, which is just a piece of bone called a bone folder that presses down that line so that it stays nice and firm. It's folded really nice. So you've got your note card and you have your envelope. And what we're going to do today on our sample, let's look back at our sample. We have a piece of powder pink cardstock. Now I want to give you the measurements here so that you can recreate this. Your note card is 3.5 inches wide by 5 inches long. And your piece of powder pink cardstock is going to be just a 1/4 inch less than that measurement. So 3¼ inches across and 4 3/4 inches down. Now what we're going to do to start off is we're just going to stamp the pretty flower stamp. Here it is. And we're going to stamp that using Fresh Fig ink. So I'm going to open up my ink pad. I'm just going to be kind of arbitrary with this. What we're really doing is we're making our own background. So let's just start, and I just like to be very arbitrary, just anywhere. Press down, re-ink the stamp, turn it a little bit so you can get another variation, and we're just covering our powder pink cardstock piece with this flower. And then we're going to go back and color it in with our Stampin' Blends. So I want to get as many flowers as I can on there without looking too crowded. And so you stamp where it comes off the page. That gives it a really neat look. We'll come back in over here. There we go. Okay. We've stamped our flowers. Now what we want to do is color them in. And for this card, I'm using our Stampin' Blends. And the ones I'm using today, these are alcohol markers. And I'm using, let me just look here, light rich razzleberry, dark rich razzleberry, and dark pink pirouette. That's why I had that in my mind. Now our alcohol-based markers are really great for coloring. They're fabulous coloring tools. And one thing to notice is they have 2 ends. And it shows you right here, can you see that? The brush end and the more pointed end. So what we're going to do, I'm going to use the brush end. I tend to use that more often. And the caps are really on there tight because we don't want the alcohol to evaporate. So I'm just going to go in now and color my flowers with the Pink Pirouette Stampin' Blend marker. And one thing with the Stampin' Blends, you don't want to get too close to the edge of your line. I'm coloring the inner flower. Can you see that? And when you set the Stampin' Blend down, it will actually blend out. So when you're getting up next to a line like here, you don't want to get quite up to it. Stay back just a little bit because the alcohol will move out into that area. So I'm just going to color this in. I'm going to come over here and color this one. So how is your holiday season going so far? Have you got all your gifts purchased? What about Christmas cards? I just mailed the last of my Christmas cards today, and it felt so good. I'm so glad those cards are in the mail. What about you? Leave me a comment down below. I see there's a couple of you on, so let me know what you think. Give me a little, write me a little comment. I'm anxious to hear from you and see who's watching. Okay, now I'm going to go over to this other flower. I'm not going to color them all in while we watch. I'm just going to do a couple, just to show you how it works and how you use the Stampin' Blends. Okay, back to Christmas. So I've mailed Christmas packages that needed to be mailed, and now I have everything else purchased. I just need to wrap it for the people that are here, and I've got a lot of wrapping to do, but I feel pretty good because I got it. It's a week. Christmas is a week from today. Can you believe it? Yep, a week from today. Okay, so we've got those two colored in. Now we're going to come back in with our light, rich razzleberry, and this time I'm going to use the more pointed end. And I'm just going to draw over. Do you see how the stamp has already given us some lines? I'm just going to draw over those lines to kind of add some depth to the flower. And really, it's not, you don't have to be very exact. It's just kind of a quick thing. Just add a little depth to the flower like that. Just going to do these two so you can see how to do it. Just real quick, pick up those little lines. Okay, now I'm going to go back over it with my Pink Pirouette Stampin' Blend marker again. And what that does is it blends it, just like it says. That's why they're called the blends, because when you do this, it gives it a really realistic look. And they're that's why we have the alcohol markers, because they really do something that no other coloring tool can do. The Stampin' Blends, I've really enjoyed using them. And see how it just blends out that other color, but it gives it some shading. Now it looks dark right at first when I put this second coat on, but it will soften up as it dries. I'll show you the sample card so that you can see. Okay, do you see how nicely that sample dried? It doesn't look quite like it does on here. I think it looks a lot better. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take the dark Stampin' Blend, the dark rich razzleberry color, with that brush edge again, and I'm going to color in the centers, right in the center, and I'm also going to color this outer edge. You know, I really think these are pansies. I'm not a real flower expert, even though I love them. And so if some of you know what they are, if you think it's a pansy too, or you think it's something else, let me know. Leave me a comment there. Janice, hi, I'm seeing that I love that you're showing us how to use the blends. Good to see you, Janice. How are you doing? Are you all ready for Christmas? Okay, so now I'm going to go back, and this is the back layer of the flower, and this actually gives it depth. And you know, this isn't a really perfect science. It's not something you have to be really perfect at. Almost anything you do looks really good with these Stampin' Blends. And then I come back in here and kind of color on those the marks that divide the petals. And then let's go over here and do this one. They're really easy. I mean, I'm not even pressing at all. I'm barely touching the paper. Just absolutely barely touching the paper. And then there's some of that background petal back in here, the darker petal. And you could, you know, on a different color paper, or even on this paper, you could use any colors you want. It's just, your imagination can just go for it. There's so much that you can do with these Stampin' Blends, and I have to admit, I I know nothing. I'm just learning, but I'm having a really great time with them. Okay, here we go. So they're colored. Now, I don't want to take our time to go on go on and do them all. You've seen the technique. Here's a piece that I colored in advance so that we can put our card together. So here's our piece of powder pink, and we want to adhere this onto our note card. First, though, we're going to use that new silver baker's twine because we have a little bow on there. And I'm going to wrap it around, and we're going to tie a bow on the front. It's just fun to give a little, well, most people like to use a little bling. And so I just cut it with the paper snips, and we're going to tie just a little bow there. Bring it down, make sure you can see everything that's going on here. And we do this before we attach it to the base of the card so that the baker's twine doesn't show, the back of it doesn't show when you open your card. And I like to tie a little knot. Some people don't, but I do because I don't want my bow going anywhere. So I just tie a little knot and come around like this. There we go. And I like to leave some long tails, personally, if I can. I don't know. I think it's a cute look. So there's our little bow. And we're ready now. I'm just going to snip this off just a little bit. We're ready now to adhere the colored piece to our card base. Now, I wanted to mention, I love using fast fuse. I don't know how many of you use fast fuse or what you think of it. There is a bit of a learning curve to it, but I really like it. And especially in California where it's very dry, it really holds. I find that our other product called the Snail, in our weather here in San Diego County, it just doesn't hold that well. So I like to use fast fuse. And then we're just going to lay that down right here. I like to line it up here straight, and it usually comes out right on the other edge. Let's see. Not too bad. Okay. Now we're going to start stamping our sentiments. So we had that one sentiment that said the amazing, that was on a circle, and that was a punch circle. So I'm going to open my stamp pad again, and I'm going to stamp amazing. This is a really neat stamp. I love the font here. And the one thing about using a punch later is that you don't have to get it completely even, because you can adjust for that. So I'm just going to stamp the word amazing on here, again using the Fresh Fig ink. And then I'm going to take our Starburst punch. This is what it looks like. It has these jagged edges, and I really like the look. And Stampin' Up! Punches, you have to unlock them to use them, so we're going to unlock it like that. And then I like to use it upside down so I can see what's going on. And I'm going to put my piece of cardstock right in here, and I'm going to line that up. Amazing, just barely fits, doesn't it? So I'm going to line it up in there and then punch. And that's it. There's our word amazing. And the other two words we need to, let's look back at our sample. Here's our sample. The other two words we need to stamp are celebrate and you. So what I've done is I've taken some scraps. I don't know about you, but I save my scraps from when I'm trimming other papers and everything, and it really comes in handy. This was already pre-cut to this exact width and length, and I think the width is perfect. I'm going to cut off the length a little bit. So I'm just going to stamp again on the Fresh Fig ink, and I like to look to make sure I don't have any ink on the edges. And then I'm just going to line up the bottom there with the paper and stamp that right on. Okay, it came out a little crooked, didn't it? I told you in my last video, that's one thing there's never any mistakes in stamping. You just turn it over, and I guess I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I really want it to look pretty good. I'm going to get a lot of ink on there, and I'm going to just bring it up closer to me this time. Okay. I still don't like it. Okay. I do this, and maybe you do too. You just keep going until you get it just exactly right. Let's try one more time, and I want to make sure there I've got some ink on the edge. See that? So I just work to get it off. I teach this in my classes, that you look first, and then it saves a lot of trouble after. I'm going to go for it again. There we go. Now I'm satisfied. I'm sure you do that, don't you? We all want it to come out perfectly. So for Celebrate, all I need to do is just take my paper snips and cut off the edge. This is a very easy thing to do. Okay, that one's done. And now we need to do the word U. And here's the little U stamp from the amazing U stamp set. And again, we're going to do the same thing we just did with the Celebrate. We're going to get plenty of ink on there, and then we're just going to line it up, stamp, and that's it. And then I'm going to cut that little guy, and then we're going to assemble our card. Okay, so let's cut that off. Some people want to, I'm not that picky about, like you might want to use the paper trimmer to get that exactly straight, but I think this particular card is supposed to be a little more arbitrary. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the circle here, the amazing circle here, and then we're going to put our words around it. So I'm going to just line that up and see what I think. So I want my amazing a little further over to this edge so I can fit Celebrate. So I'm going to put some of my fast fuse on there. And with the fast fuse, you do a check mark at the bottom, and that's what helps it to release for you. Okay, so there's amazing. Now for Celebrate and U, we're going to raise those up on some Stampin' Dimensionals. There's my back that I didn't like, the mistake, so I'm going to put my dimensionals on that side. I have to make sure I'm using the right side. Okay, we'll peel off those little papers. And we'll just put our Celebrate right in there. Okay. And now we just need one little dimensional for the word U. So we just stick that little guy on there. And our card is almost done. I told you it was going to be a quick and easy card. That's what we all need this time of year, isn't it? And then you can just stick this wherever you like. I'm just going to put it just right there. Press down. Okay, Celebrate Amazing You. Now, there's one thing that I haven't shown you yet, and that is we have some brand new embellishments that are very, very cool. They're called Glitter and Clear Epoxy Shapes. And they're circles, different sizes of little circles that are clear and glittery, and some teardrops. Are those so cute? I love those little teardrops. And I'm going to use them on my card. I use them on my sample. But I'm also going to send one of these to one of the people that leaves a comment. Now, Janice has already left a comment. I'm going to leave it up for 24 hours. And at the end of 24 hours from 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific time tonight, I'll draw a name of people that have commented, and I'll private message you, and you'll send me your address, and then I will send this little package of these brand new glitter and clear epoxy shapes that can't even be ordered yet. Unless you're a demonstrator, I will send them to you as my thank you for watching my video, my Pretty Paper Cards Live. Okay, so let's actually use them on our card. We could use the teardrops. Here are the teardrops, but I used on my sample these little tiny circles, and I really like them. So what I do is I kind of just fold it a little bit so I can grab them. I use my scissors a lot for that type of thing. And I'm just going to, you just stick these wherever you think looks good. One trick is it's good to use an odd number. For some reason, for balance and things like that. It's just good to use an odd number of embellishments. So I think for this one, I'll just use 3. On my other card, I used 5. But it's just completely up to you, and I'll put 1 right there. Can you see them on there? Let's see where'd they go. There, there, and there. I just think they're so adorable. Let's get this little guy down here. Now, one thing I really love to do with my cards, I don't generally stamp a sentiment inside. I like to write my own sentiments, but I do like to stamp a little something inside that goes along with the rest of the card. So when I'm finished with my card, I usually stamp one of the stamps on the inside, and I'm going to use the flower stamp today. And I'd like to just put it in the corner and have it hang off. There we go. So that just gives a little preview or continues the theme on for the recipient. And I also like to stamp my envelopes. Do you do that? Do you stamp your envelopes? So I sometimes stamp here, sometimes I stamp on the back. Today I'm going to stamp this pretty flower. I mean, it's so pretty, I just really want to use it again. So I'm going to stamp the flower right down here. And it just gives the person a little preview. I mean, who wouldn't want to open a card with that gorgeous flower on it? Now, I will tell you something about using the Stampin' Blends. You might think, oh, I'd like to color that in. The problem is that the Stampin' Blends, when you use them, they will show on the back. Let's look at the piece that I did the sample for you, that we only did the 2 flowers. Look at how it comes through on the back. And so that's another reason why we use the panel on the front here. We didn't color and stamp exactly right on the card front because we don't want anyone to see that part, right? I mean, I don't want anyone to see it. So if we colored our envelope, if we colored it in with Stampin' Blends, it would show on the back, and I don't want that. So I'm not going to color it in with watercolors or our watercolor pencils. I don't think would go through, but generally I just don't even color that. I just let the stamp itself do the coloring, and it's in the fresh fig, so I like it. So here you go. There's your little note card, and you could actually make a whole bunch of these. And it's just a snap to make, and using the note cards is just one of the best things for making quick cards. You could get all of your birthday cards for January all done with that one stamp set. So if you're one of my customers, you should already have your catalog. I sent them out last week. If you don't, it'll be coming. I'm going to turn this around a little bit. Let's turn it around so that I can see you. We'll go back up. Okay. There we go. Okay. I'm sorry that you're looking at the inside of my hand. Just going to adjust this here. There we go. Okay, thank you so much for coming by today. If you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to be your demonstrator. I give lots of gifts and thank you cards to my customers, and gifts and prizes. Stop by my blog at prettypapercards.com. I post there about 5 times a week and try to keep you up on all the things that are new. And if you aren't one of my customers, if you haven't purchased from me in the past year, and if you'd like to be one of my customers, please connect with me. Email me at peggy@prettypapercards.com. You can send me a message through my blog. You can leave a comment here, and I would love to have you as a customer. And if you don't have those catalogs, I'll get some out to you right away. I just need your address. So get ready for January 3rd when the new catalog goes live, and you will be able to get this fabulous Amazing You stamp set and make these adorable cards for an order of $50. And then also, don't forget, just announced today, the clearance rack with all the fabulous items that they've just put on clearance for up to 70% off. That's pretty good. Now, I'm not going to be coming to you next week because it'll be Christmas Day, and the following Monday will be New Year's Day. But I know after New Year's, the week of Christmas I'm taking off, but after New Year's that week I'll pop on because that's when our catalog goes live, and I'll be wanting to tell you all the news and show you more new stuff. So leave me a post. Hi, Linda. I see that she left a comment. Thanks so much for watching. And so I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks so much. Bye-bye. I don't really know